Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. And what I want to share with you today is why many people are unsuccessful and really fail when it comes to learning options trading. So a lot of people try to learn to trade options, and then of course they fail. So there's a myriad of reasons. I'm going to share with you some in this video, but of course there's many more variations. Human behavior is just so much more complicated than I can go over in this video. But I'll give you some kind of tidbits and insights, and maybe you can help avoid some of these pitfalls and maybe look towards the future of how you can become a little bit more successful or be on the better end of the stick. So stay tuned. I'm going to answer this in this video. All right, so I'm sharing you this video here really because we're getting started into the basics and foundations of trading options, and we're launching a new course, which we've just basically done, Options Mastery Foundation version 2. So I did version 1 many years ago, and that was 3 hours long with 3 DVDs, and now we're doing 11 hours long. So we're going in more detail now with the technology. You're able to just do so much more. And this course is coming out, or it should be out actually by the time you watch this video. And you can get a $50 off Black Friday, Christmas kind of sale and special, and that special lasts until Christmas Day. So makes it easy to remember. This course is packed with a lot of foundational concepts. Again, key foundational concepts for getting started in trading options. So November 25th, this batch of videos was released. So here's how are options valued, where they get their price, the world of options, how it works, understanding at the money, in the money, out of the money, how risk profile pictures works, and the risk profile pictures of a buyer, a seller, examples of that. Then December 2, we get into a little bit more intermediate kind of things from a foundational perspective, looking at stocks and choosing expiration dates, how to get filled and execute orders, reviewing and comparing 4 types of option strategies: cash secured put, covered call strategy, selling a strangle. And then December 9th, we're releasing the next batch of videos, which is a little bit more on spreads and just a basic overview of spreads. So that's kind of the whole course that we have going forward. Definitely check it out on our website here at tradersfly.com. Check out in the links in the description if you're on YouTube, or our primary website, which is where you'll do the purchase at Rise, the number 2, LEARN. So anyways, with that being said, let's take a look at kind of some of these reasons. And again, keep in mind, many of these things, of course, you can get from just looking at human behavior, understanding what is it that people are doing to fail just in normal day-to-day life, such as, hey, if you're trying to pick up and lose weight, well, you know, it's not anything magnificent or miraculous that you have to do. I mean, you have to eat healthy, you have to exercise. Part of that is just having the same types of routines day in and day out. But of course, even though you know what to do, it doesn't mean you're successful. So in the options world, one of the reasons that people aren't successful is the education. The education, it just requires much more training to learn to trade options. So if we look at something like weight loss, it's not anything where you have to, you know, become a nutritionist to lose weight. I mean, diet and exercise, or eating healthy and exercising, is just 2 basic things that you can do and living a healthy lifestyle. It's not mind-blowing, but with options trading, there's much more education that's involved, right? So you have to learn many nuances than you do. It's kind of like, you know, becoming a doctor. Even though, hey, you got to go and make cuts and incisions and this and that to perform surgery, it's just not that easy. I mean, you kind of know the basic concept, but you just can't do it without proper training. And options trading is kind of very similar to that. You have to get some decent training and education to be able to become successful. And some people don't. Even looking at YouTube videos like the ones I share here, a lot of the YouTube videos, as I always mention, especially people that I'm mentoring and coaching, they're just kind of at a basic to intermediate level. Once we get into more coaching, now you're looking at higher degree of intermediate level or more advanced. So even the stuff that I share with you, it's not full high level advanced stuff, because most people on YouTube are just getting started. And if I was to make a super advanced video, which I've done in the past, some people get lost and they're like, man, where's this guy going with this? And it's that because you need to have, you know, you got to learn math, basic addition and subtraction, before you get into algebra, trigonometry, and many other things. So anyways, education is a huge component and a big problem for many people. The second big thing is time. So when you look at this, is that, hey, if you have 4 kids at home, you're a stay-at-home parent, and you're trying to run the household, that may be difficult to be able to be successful with option trading, because you have to learn and spend the extra time to making it work. The same thing goes, are you a full-time student? Do you have a high stressful job that requires you to kind of leave for 2 months at a time? Then again, to be able to learn this business, it makes it more difficult. Now, once you've already learned it, and once you have it, kind of mastered in a way, then of course, could you, be a doctor, travel for 2 weeks and come back and do your trading, or be a full-time parent and still do some trading? Absolutely. But the education part, as you know, when going to school, that requires kind of like a full-time commitment, right? When you go to school, whether it's elementary school, middle school, high school, or even into college, that requires commitment. You're kind of there full-time, ingrained and immersed in that system. And the same thing with learning to trade options. You got to be kind of have that immersion in it to be able to learn it and pick it up. And many people, they just don't have that capability. So having a full-time job, you got 6 kids at home, man, that makes it much more difficult. All right, the third thing here is scared to jump. And I find that you see this in people that hesitate. Hey, I want to trade options, but I just can't get over the hurdle of buying your course. Or I want to trade options, but I just can't get over the hurdle of putting on a trade. I'm just really scared of what's going to happen. So if you don't take the jump, if you don't take the leap of faith, kind of like in the Indiana Jones movie, if you don't do that, then hey, obviously you're not going to be successful. You have to take the leap, the jump, to try things and make some little failures and mistakes along the way. If you're just really, really scared and in your shell, then obviously you shouldn't be option trading. In that case, you probably shouldn't be driving either. So it's one step at a time, but getting a little bit of an education helps fuel that positivity, because you kind of then understand what you're doing. But again, some people I have that I talk to, hey, I got $10,000, but I really don't want to spend $400 on my education, or I don't, your courses are too expensive. You hear that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, in that case, you're too scared to kind of commit. And obviously then you can attempt to learn it on your own. And there's nothing wrong with that approach. It's just you find that slows people down. And I find that then they have to kind of learn it on their own, trial and error. And that's what I had to do, because back in the day when I started, there was just a lot less education out there. Nowadays, there's much more education out there. So anyways, if you're scared to leap, this could be a little bit of a roadblock for you. And then finally, the last thing that I have for you is commitment, which even though people that do take the leap of faith, or, they say, hey, I'm good to go, even though my job is there, the problem is the commitment part, because it requires time. It requires additional education. You have to commit to it. It's kind of like in, when you're young and you're starting to play soccer, you might be committed for the season, but you're not committed for 2 years, 5 years, 20 years. And that's the issue, is that most people in this business, once you're committed to it, you're committed to it for many, many years going forward. And I find that people that start things out, just the majority of them, just look at, the batch of all the soccer camps you've had when you're young, people that start out, how many of those actually go on and keep playing soccer 10 years later? Very few of them. And the same with option trading, just like with anything in life. People just slowly weave out of it, either due to time, due to education, due to cost, due to their own personal lifestyle. They decide to, hey, now I want to write a book, or hey, now I want to go ahead and start a family, or hey, I want to do something else. So you'll see the attraction of what humans decide to do just starts to move into the other direction. Even though financially this may make sense, they may be more adventurous and want to go live their life in the woods, and just for whatever reason. So human behavior is complex, and the commitment factor, it's not that, hey, the financial rewards on this business is horrible or anything like that. It's just, the point is that people decide to do other things with their life. Maybe the financial part becomes less important, and for that reason, some people become less committed. Other times they get less committed because time is sucked up from other things. So it's just a huge issue. Now, these are just a handful of things that I've come up with, that I've seen over the years, that kind of hinder and slow people down and kind of stop them in their tracks from being successful with learning to trade options. I'm not saying you can't do it once you know, when you have a full-time job, or when you have a lot of kids, or when you're busy in school. It's just that it's more demanding, right? Anytime you take on a fully committed task, it becomes more demanding on your time, energy, money. So it does suck you energetically a bit. But if you continue to push your way through, you can become successful. And that's the point. That's the goal. You got to have the tools. You got to have the education. You got to have the commitment, the stick to itness, and you got to have some time to put into it. It's not just about, hey, I've got, you know, $100,000 in my account, I want to trade, and open up a trading account and start trading. You got to, you know, make some mistakes along the way as well. So anyways, if you want to have a good education for a good foundation to learning to trade options, then definitely check out our course here, the Options Mastery Foundation course. This is going to be version 2.0, and you can get a discount sale. It'll be at the top. This is our Black Friday kind of Christmas sale. It'll be at the top bar when you go to the page. We'll put it kind of right there at the top what the coupon code is, so that way when you go ahead and do the checkout and purchase that course, you can get it at a discount, and that discount will last until December 25th, Christmas time. Once the sale is done, it's done, just like in the normal real world in the grocery store. Once the sale is done, it's done. So it's 11 hours long. We've got 36 videos, and there are staggered releases amongst the different dates, just to see if we have any issues or anything that we need to add in as we go ahead. And people may say, hey, this module is confusing, so we might add in a module here or there. I don't expect it, but sometimes that can happen. So beyond that, check that out. It's going to be in the description, or go to our website, tradersfly.com. And once you're there, just scroll down, or you can even go to our courses section, scroll down, click the link there. And by the way, if you want to check out mentoring section here, or the getting started with options, you can also check that out over there if you want to have a little bit of a extra foundation. And our checkout website, meaning where we do all the transactions, is just where we hold all the paid material, is Rise, the number 2, Learn. So anyways, I hope to see you in there in the course. You'll learn quite a bit from a foundational concept. If you're just getting started with options, you'll learn a lot for building blocks for the future. And that way, as you continue to evolve, this will be a good blueprint for you to work from. So thank you so much for joining me. If you want to check out some of those freebies I mentioned, click the link right over here. If you want to just subscribe to the YouTube channel for some more great content, click this link, or see some other great videos. Thanks again, and remember to do what you love, contribute to other people, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you in the next video.